So, Manchester City have drawn Atletico Madrid in the Champions League quarter-final. It's very, very, very interesting, very intriguing, and today I'm going to talk through this in a little bit more detail. Now the weather has calmed down, the storm has passed, I wanted to offer my personal takes on this draw. Of course, it isn't just the quarter-final draw as well. The route to the final has been mapped out by the big bods over at UEFA. So we're going to see how this goes down. Obviously, this is a live stream, so we'll get to all your comments in a bit. I want to basically, though, talk for myself for a little bit about how I feel about this game, because I've seen how you feel. I've seen how you guys feel, and I want to kind of take it in myself, in my head. And I'm kind of nervously excited now. I really am. So obviously I'll recap the draw in full initially. You've got at the bottom there Chelsea versus Real Madrid, City versus Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich versus Villarreal, and Liverpool with Benfica, which is probably as close as a bye you'll get really in this stage of the competition. Let's be honest. I stole that from a friend on Twitter, and it's very, very true. This draw very much sits in the middle. Now, for me, it's middle in terms of difficult to hard to easy. I would say it's somewhere in the middle. It's also intriguing. I can't deny the fact that this is an interesting draw. We haven't seen a draw like this before. Literally, Atletico Madrid is uncharted territory for Manchester City in this competition. So it's going to be really, really, really interesting to see how this unfolds. My initial reaction was one of trepidation. I was a little bit apprehensive to see how this would unfold. I was basically thinking, I hate Atletico Madrid. I hate everything they stand for. I hate how they're physical. I hate how they're aggressive. I hate their low block. I hate how they have a way of frustrating teams and making games feel like a battle. I hate how they really, really can upset the odds time and time again, regardless of their form. But that was my initial reaction. It still pretty much is that. You know, I do fear them in what they can be. But as many people have pointed out, and I've realised myself, I guess, because I'll be honest, I've not been the same. I've not been paying attention to La Liga, maybe the way that some of you guys have. They are not really the La Liga, the Atletico evolved right now. It doesn't mean, of course, that they can't be. And I suspect they will up their game at some point and find their confidence. And, in a game like this, they will play their best. I'm almost certain they will do. I don't know why. It just feels absolutely set up for a monster of a performance from them. That doesn't mean we can't beat them, though, because they were relatively poor against Man United. They weren't impressive. And overall, Atletico are not the same beast they used to be. I mean, when you look at the La Liga table, they are struggling, man. They are obviously the current reigning La Liga champions. And now they're sat down in fourth, 15 points behind Real Madrid. They are in a race for the top four with the likes of Real Betis and Sociedad. I mean, how the mighty have fallen there a little bit. They're currently at level with Barcelona on points, though they are played one game more. So there's no guarantee they'll even be in the Champions League next season, which is crazy given how good they were last season. Of course, winning the La Liga title, which is weird to say, but this is the reality of where we are. So they aren't the same team. I mean, overall, it's been a really piss-poor title defense for them. Genuinely, no one expects them to be this poor. They've had some embarrassing losses. I mean, like against Levante at one point in February, the team who broke a record for like back-to-back games without a win. They lost to them, which has pretty much as it all. So that was mid-February. They've had some absolutely abysmal results. They're not scoring goals really that much. Let's have a look. They've only scored 52. Okay, now they've upped the record. Actually, at one point they weren't scoring goals, but they've started scoring again, to be fair to them. And they've already at one point in the season, really early on, they'd already conceded more than they had in any other Simeone season. So that defensive record has definitely changed. They are not the same solid team that they used to be, but they are still Atletico Madrid, and they still have quality. I mean, I'll get their recent results up right now on screen. I'll go over to another screen. Hang on, here are their recent results. Where is it? There we go. So here's their recent results. Currently sat fourth in La Liga, of course. They got here by getting past United. Obviously, beat Atletico United 1-0 the other day, which is no mean feat. It's not an impressive feat. Sorry, it's just United. 2-1 against Cadiz recently. They beat Betis 3-1. They found a bit of form actually recently. Celta Vigo 2-0. Drew 1-0 against United. And also beat Osasuna 3-0. So they have actually found a bit of La Liga form, which has, put them in a little bit of decent stead. They're doing a little bit better than they were. But they are still absolutely... They're questionable right now. Against United, this is how they lined up. There we go. We got Joao Felix, of course, a man linked to Man City an awful lot. Griezmann, Greasy there. It's kind of what you'd expect. Koke, De Paul, Renan Lodi, Lorente, Herrera, Mandava, Jimenez, Savic, ex-Man City player, of course, Oblak. It's not the days of Godin when they were solid defensively. Of course, you've still got Suarez. They've still got Luis Suarez there, who's not really played as much as he would like to. It's not scored as much as he'd like to. 9-27. In general, their form isn't what it used to be. And Felix, of course, is a fantastic player, but he's not really shone yet. Against Betis was a big win for them, though they only had 8 shots to Betis' 18, which is very Atletico, which worries me a little bit, man. It worries me a little bit. It's very, very Atletico, that. That's the kind of thing they do. In that game, the goals came from Joao Felix and Thomas Lemar as well. He's done okay at them. He's done all right. They're playing free at the back, obviously, with wing backs quite a lot, as you can see there. They are going to be very, very stubborn against us. They're going to be very, very, very difficult. But ultimately, there's 2 teams I wanted to avoid: Liverpool and Bayern. They were the teams I really, really wanted to avoid, and they're going to get each other, which is kind of good, They will almost definitely get each other on the other side of the draw, which for me, that's a positive, because one of those 2 teams will disappear from there. There's a draw again at the bottom. If we get through, I'll jump over to the notepad now, 1 second. Here's some notes here, so I just wrote this down on my notepad on my MacBook. So the quarterfinals, of course, I didn't write them all down there, sorry. If we get through, our side of the draw is there, actually. Let me write that down quickly. Liverpool v Benfica, Bayern versus Villarreal. So there's the draw. There's the games, of course. So if we get through, we play Chelsea or Real Madrid, which is really, really interesting. To be honest, I think that's a pretty good draw for us, actually. I fancy our chances against either of those sides if we do get through. We've proven this season, of course, against Chelsea that we can beat them. Of course, they've got a great record against the Champions League, which we don't talk about. It's kind of true. But I trust us against either of those sides this season. Real Madrid were beaten before when it matters. I trust us. I trust us basically to beat these 2 sides. If it comes to it, I just do. I mean, it's not. Yeah, obviously they're good sides, but I think we can get through to them. The only thing for me that's really interesting is, of course, you're going to get. Bayern are going to beat Villarreal. Liverpool will beat Benfica. So you're going to get Bayern versus Liverpool. So you're going to knock out one of the other teams. That's good news for us, of course. Which also means Liverpool's fixtures get really busy as well. They've got to squeeze in, potentially a game against Bayern around their title challenge, which is absolutely massive for them. That is not going to be easy. I'll look at Liverpool's fixtures now and see if they've been updated. But all I know is that it gets a lot more difficult for them. Have they been given dates yet? No, it's not on. Yeah, so they'll be playing Benfica either side of us. We'll be playing Atletico. They'll be playing Benfica away. We'll be playing at home before that game, which is a good news. So we'll be at home before the good game before Liverpool game against Atletico. They'll be away at Benfica, which is not a long journey to be fair. And then they'll be away after that, and of course they'll have. What's the Champions League semi-final dates? Let's have a look. They will be on the 27th for the 4th. Yeah, okay. So they'll be playing those games around the Everton game or the Spurs or Newcastle game, which is sort of interesting. Overall, my reaction to this draw is that I think, obviously, there's no guarantee of any of these things, but ultimately, I think it's a pretty good draw. I think it is a good draw. Atletico are a tough team. They're a physical team, but they are beatable, and so are Madrid and Chelsea. They really are. And the 2 teams I wanted to avoid, one of them's going to knock the other out. The only obviously possibility is we could get Liverpool if we get to the final, which would be horrific, but that's where we are. Look at our fixtures. We've got Southampton away in the FA Cup. This is how it affects it. We've got Burnley away, Atletico at home, then Liverpool at home, then Atletico away. That's going to be a horrible, that's going to be a horrible period of games, which could define our season there, It could be really good. We could be buzzing by the time we're playing Wolves. You could have just gone through to the semi-finals. We could have just beat Liverpool, or we could be all sad chops sat here, absolutely devastated. I mean, it's really, really hard to judge. But this is where we're at, and this is, to be honest, why you're at this level. I'm happy about it, man. I overall think, now I've calmed down a little bit, you do have to beat the best, so to speak. And there's a relative level challenge to these games that it will keep us focused and it will keep us sharp. But I wouldn't say they are absolute, they're not painful in the way that they could be. Actually, Atletico could be painful. They're not the worst teams to play. And also, we've avoided that horrible shit show that could be Liverpool in the Champions League, Liverpool in the league, Liverpool in the FA Cup. Back-to-back 4-game monster of a season. We've avoided that, thankfully. So there's some small mercies there. Still, Atletico, they're a tough team. They are in the sweet spot, though, in my opinion, of challenge versus edge. They know who they are, though. They know who they are, and they know how to get through this. And they're going to be they're going to be shameless, basically. They're going to be shameless. I don't really blame them, So that's where we're at. City have got Atletico Madrid. I do think we are the favourite team there. I do think we should beat them. It could be ugly, though. It could be really, really ugly. It could be. They're a horrible team to play against. A B-Tech Atletico are Burnley, according to FALI season. So maybe we have to play them. People saying Atletico is easy. Oh, I think some of you people are naive. Maybe I'm wrong there, but the draw overall I'm happy with, but I understand this challenge within it. I mean, to be honest, if we're going to win the Champions League, we've got to beat teams of Atletico's quality. We have to. I know they've not been at the very best, but I just think they'll up the game. And I don't understand how anyone think they won't. Herrera said we might not have Diaz. Diaz might be back by then, mate. He looks like he's back in training already. So Diaz, I think, should be back, hopefully. No Kyle Walker, which is obviously, of course, a bit of a shame. They're not lightning quick on the break, are the Atletico? I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong there, but I never really associated them with being, an exceptional counter-attacking team. They are a good side, don't get me wrong, but ultimately, they are not the kind of side that I would fear on the break. Am I wrong there? Please do correct me if I'm wrong. They're a good side, but, they're not that kind of side. Burnley Atletico is going to be a horrible bunch of fixtures, isn't it, man? Yeah, that's horrible. So we've got Burnley, which will be a nice little preparation. It'll be a nice preparation for those games. It really will be. I mean, I know they're not easy, Thomas. Don't get me wrong. I fear them. No, they are. They will sit back and they will defend, and they weren't impressive against United at all. But United are a shite team, so they got past them. United are shite these days when it comes to it. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. Look, for me, the only way I look at it as well is that Liverpool are going to be affected by this. I'm going to try and check it that way. Liverpool's May could be genuinely horrendous. Ours could be much better either, but I have to consider the fact that it could affect them too. Playing Bayern will absolutely test their mental fortitude. They've got it, of course. They're strong. But they will be stretched resource-wise, mentally. So hopefully it'll affect them in the title race. We'll have to see, but Benfica's an easy one for them, man. They've got nothing to fear against Benfica. They'll absolutely breeze for it, which is good for them. What Roger might be thinking, of course, yeah, the former Atletico guy. It's the Aguero derby as well. I wonder what Joao Felix will be thinking. I wonder if he's going to try and press Pep Guardiola, It's going to be really, really intriguing. Overall, though, you do have to beat the best, don't you, to get there. And I'm expecting Manchester City to really up their game. So we'll see. We are in the Champions League quarterfinals. It's the place where we want to be. Obviously, this is a big game for us. It's a big game for them. But the route has now been mapped out. And I sort of like what I see. I really do. I mean, I think that route is good for us. If we get past Atletico, Chelsea or Madrid, I don't really fear them. I honestly don't. Maybe I should do, but I don't. And I think they're very beatable. And the other side of the draw, Bayern are going to whoop Villarreal, I think. Not whoop them, they'll beat them. Villarreal are good against Juve, but Juve are, they're just Juve in the Champions League. They let themselves down often. And then Benfica, they're going to get spanked, which means Liverpool Bayern. That's really interesting. Stephen Anthony Pert says, great draw and we'll keep us sharp for the business end of the season. I like the way you think, mate, and hopefully you're actually right. Fingers crossed it will be. I'm not going to do a score prediction yet. I'll pay attention to the games a little bit more, but we'll see. But they are my thoughts on this game. This is where we want to be fundamentally. This is the Champions League, You do have to beat the best and all that kind of stuff. And I've got to be confident, really. I'm really hoping at this point the players will step up when it matters. I mean, I think there's an unfinished story for the Manchester City players in the Champions League. And I do think we'll find our best form against it. And I do think they'll be motivated. And I do think actually a distraction from the Premier League title race might be really, really useful. I'm quietly confident about this game, but at the same time, realistically nervous about what Atletico could bring to Manchester City. The one thing I will say is I wish we were playing away from home second. There's no away goals anymore, which I think favours teams Atletico. They can just sit back and hope for the best and not worry about it. You know, no fear about having to score. So I kind of wish we were trying to finish the job at the Etihad, but it's going to be at that incredible Wanda Metropolitan Stadium, whatever it's called. I've never been there before. It looks beautiful. So they'll be up for it at their ground, and it's going to take a massive away performance to try and get through. But we've had massive away performances in the Champions League as well. Mr. Kevin De Bruyne, fantastic, of course, at the Bernabeu. So we've seen it before from City. We know we're capable. Fingers crossed we can do it again. Fingers crossed we can do it again. I do believe in this side. I think we're a fantastic side. I think we'll be up for these games. And there are many, many things that can happen between this game and that game. You know, the mood could shift exponentially, you know. All of a sudden, City could win a couple of games. You know, we could win the FA Cup quarter. We could get past Southampton. We could get past Burnley. Liverpool might drop a point and we go into it absolutely feeling on top of the world. Things can change just like that, so we'll see. Thanks for watching this video, guys. They are my thoughts. Do let me know down in the comments what you make of this draw. It's going to be an intriguing way to see how it unfolds. But, you know, let's watch it with a little bit of optimism and hope. You're all absolutely awesome. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be massively appreciated. You can find all my socials in the channel in the description below and all that kind of stuff. Come on, City. Have a good evening, and the preview will be here tomorrow, and opposition preview will be up later. Bye-bye.